Hey, and welcome to my channel if you're new. My name is Alex. I turned 30 in less than 1 month, and I'm currently living in Portland, Oregon. I love sharing my life, opinions, and special interest here on YouTube, but I have been a little bit more withdrawn when it comes to sharing certain struggles in my life surrounding chronic illness in my 20s. Going into my 30s, I am doing my best to learn how to both accept certain aspects of my life while also not letting it limit my worth. So this is a bit of a chattier vlog as I share a deeper look into my current day-to-day life while living with chronic illness as an almost 30-year-old. I will go on camera without doing my makeup, but I will not go on camera without doing my hair. It just gets too crazy. I have a lot of new favorite products, especially drugstore products, because your girl has been on a budget this year, and I thought that I would show you guys those products while chatting a little bit, giving you a little bit of an update on my life. I need lip color like right now. I look super malnourished. Ignore how disgusting that looks, but this has been my favorite skin tint. I wouldn't say it's like super affordable. I think it's around $13 or $14, but it's worth every dollar. It's so lightweight and melts right onto your skin, and it gives you like the most skin-like finish I think I have ever experienced. It literally performs like a high-end skin tint. I will say that like the applicator is super annoying, which is why it's very messy. But sometimes when a product is just this good, it just does not matter. So, and I only need a little bit. A little bit goes a long way. Very luminous and skin-like, but it also dries down, slightly matte. I don't know if matte is the right word, but like matte enough. You know what I mean? It's not too tacky or sticky after it dries down, which I feel like happens a lot with me when I do moisturizing products. A little darker than my face because in general, my face is a lot paler than my neck, my chest, my body. I actually think that it matches my skin pretty well, but I'm unsure if that translates through the screen. You'll just have to trust me though. I have to mail out 6 orders today from my Depop, which if you didn't know, I started a Depop shop, curated closet shop. I am reselling carefully curated and high quality vintage 2000s and 90s clothing. If you're interested, I'll leave a link in the description below. I had a lot of success my first month. If any of you by any chance bought something from me, thank you so very much. Thrifting and fashion, I have always had a huge passion for. When I came back from my travels, I had to do a lot of thrifting because I gained weight on my travels, and while I was doing it I just like fell in love with it all over again, and I was like, man, I wish I could do this for work, and I sort of realized that you kind of can. Yeah, I have 6 orders to mail out today. Most of them are already packed up, so let me show you. I don't know, I use this to put in my skin tint. So natural, which I love. I do miss the application of my Merit stick. Like I miss how easy it was to use. Your girl is struggling. I'm still using that up, by the way. It's just not within the budget right now to get a foundation stick that's almost $40, and I just haven't found a good enough dupe. So I think I will get it eventually again, but not right now. And then I finally caved and I wanted to try this concealer, which a lot of people say is a really good, if not one of the best drugstore concealers. And then I also got this popular brush. I spent like 3 days on makeup YouTube for some new suggestions. I do that like once a year because I don't care that much about makeup for the most part, as long as I have like one good foundation, one good concealer, etc., then I'm fine. But then once I run out of that, I usually then go on makeup YouTube to try and learn about what's poppin' that year. I like this. It dries down pretty matte, which I feel like is good for a concealer, but it doesn't look dry. It doesn't attach to any dry spots. I just think I got a shade a little bit too light to the point that like it kind of looks like I'm wearing concealer, but whoa, do you even see that little difference? Is crazy. It's a little too light for me. It doesn't look like it on camera, but in person, I feel like it looks like I'm wearing concealer. And for the most part, I like my makeup to look like I'm not wearing anything. But wow, that was crazy, like on camera. that difference. And I really love this. Super good. I just need to clean it, I'll be honest. I wanted to chat with you guys about my employment situation. Not that I need to, but I want to. I'm going through sort of a peculiar situation, and I've never known how to talk about it on my channel, just because I've always wanted my content to be authentic and vulnerable, but also relatable. And I know the fact that I'm not currently working can probably come off as unrelatable. Hold on, let me back this up. A little close there. And so I just want to talk about that for a second. If you have been around my channel for a while, then you may have been here since I was working at a 9-to-5 corporate job. I was working as escalated support for a very popular crowdfunding website. Did that for about 2 years. Prior to that, I had a travel job. That's actually how I met my boyfriend in San Francisco. Prior to that, I taught yoga for 5 years and also have worked a lot in the industry. So I was a server for many years as well, alongside teaching yoga. Something that I've always dealt with throughout my later years in life since I was 16 years old was vertigo and hearing loss. I started losing my hearing at around 14, 15 years old in my right ear, and I got a 1 week long vertigo episode around 16 years old that forced me to have to stay home from school, because if you didn't know, vertigo is kind of like this sensation and feeling of feeling like you are drunk essentially, even though you are completely sober. It really, really sucked. And I had vertigo episodes like maybe 3 to 4 times weekly, even throughout my travel job. So I would be alone in a parking lot most of the time and very debilitated. It really debilitates you, and you have like no autonomy over your body in that moment, which can be so scary, isolating, and just shitty. I was going through a lot of health issues in my early 20s with this vertigo. I kept continuing to get hearing loss and have a lot of vertigo to the point of vomiting, but I didn't have health insurance, so I was often going to urgent cares or emergency rooms just to be told that I likely have an inner ear infection and that I just need to see an ENT. So around 2019 to 2020, after my mom passed away, I took a year off of work, but I did have Medicaid, and I was able to find a good ENT in San Diego. That's when I was finally diagnosed with something called Meniere's disease. It's pretty mysterious, and I won't get into too many of the details, but know that it's categorized by hearing loss, tinnitus, and vertigo. In 2022, I went to a concert in which I experienced severe hearing loss on my good ear, woke up with super loud tinnitus, and when I went to my ENT and she ran some hearing tests, I was then diagnosed with Meniere's disease in my other ear. Meniere's has a very specific classification for diagnosis. A lot of it has to do with the way that your hearing loss appears on an audio test result and the frequencies of your hearing loss. I haven't talked about this on my channel. I actually do have hearing aids that I was able to crowdfund, and thankfully my community showed up to support me through that time, and I am forever grateful. But I struggle a lot using my hearing aids. It's been a very long journey of trying to adapt to them, and kind of hard for me to talk about because like I'm very grateful to have my hearing aids around as an option. But the thing about hearing aids, especially if they're not the very expensive ones that have circular isolated hearing, and especially if you've grown up having hearing your whole life, I don't know. If you have gone through this at all, like you might understand what I'm talking about. If not, then it just feels difficult to explain. They can be a little overstimulating, and they can enhance noises that you're not trying to hear. For instance, if I'm at a restaurant and a lot of the servers are bussing tables and clanking dishes and whatnot, it would be hard for me to then focus on the conversation that I'm having in front of me, which can feel like it sort of defeats the purpose. Anyways, that is something that I've struggled with a lot throughout the years, in addition to a spine condition called spondylosis, which is a degenerative spine/disc condition, and I also have some nerve impingement in my upper spine that seems to really flare up when I am extremely sedentary and stressed out, not sleeping well. When it does flare up, my nerve impingement and my spine, it can get so bad that sometimes I'm unable to even move my neck around. I usually am on bed rest for like a day or two. Usually comes with a lot of tears. Anyways, this is something that has never been easy for me to talk about on camera, and like even to friends and family, even though my chronic illness very often stands in the way of me having a very normal functional life. I try not to use it as an excuse, and I think in doing that, I have done myself a disservice because it is a part of my story. It does affect my daily life, and I've isolated myself in choosing not to talk about it. And so this is like me soft launching the fact that I struggle with chronic illness. I think also one of the reasons it's not easy to talk about is just because struggling with debilitating illnesses in your early 20s and even as early as late teens, and I know lots of people struggle with it much earlier than that in life, and I cannot imagine. It is a very isolating and difficult experience. You're dealing with feelings of shame. You're comparing yourself a lot to your friends who can do this hike so much better and faster than me, or even just the depression that comes with struggling with hearing, especially because I used to be very active as a teenager. I used to be a cheerleader. I used to play soccer. I used to teach yoga. I felt like, man, my youth is over. All my healthy years are done. You definitely start to deal with self-deprecating and depressive thoughts, shameful thoughts of like, what's wrong with me? Why can't my body work and function normally? Why did all of that have to end for me at such an early age? Which are all such limiting beliefs that are not true, or at least they're relative. Like, I still have so much. I still have so much ability to do a lot. And I think going into my 30s, that's definitely something that I want to practice and focus on. So I think all in all, what I am trying to convey is that I've been trying to find that balance between accepting my chronic illness, but also not identifying with it too much, because I've been there, I've done that, and that doesn't serve me either. Both for my Meniere's disease and my spine condition are flared up by stress. So this was the year that I realized either that I probably can't work a traditional job, or that I need to rethink about how I want to work. I'm very much in an in-between stage right now. Like, I thought about going back to serving. I don't mind work that is mindless. With serving, you show up for like 5 hours. You can do part-time 3 days a week, and you usually leave with a decent amount of money. I'm bilingual. I have pretty decent personable and social skills. I've always been a really good server, but then I thought about the fact that the second I get extremely stressed and I overheat, I get serious vertigo, and I just imagine myself getting an episode or a flare-up while carrying a tray of drinks. And then even with a sedentary job that you would think is easy, but is mentally demanding, I struggled a lot. I was getting a lot of flare-ups of my Meniere's disease while working at my 9-to-5 job. I thought about going back to teaching yoga. I'm just very, very scared and very nervous because my yoga practice is not what it used to be, because of the fact that when I do inversions, I tend to feel a little bit dizzy. Sometimes that dizziness can escalate and become very dizzy in a matter of like a second. It's very unpredictable. This is a huge reason that I started my depop shop. I'm not used to just not trying to contribute to society and of course like to my household. I live with a partner. Not that he cares. Zach is the most supportive. I mean, obviously I'm not the only one who likes the idea of like working for myself, but I also just think that it is what's best for me and what's most convenient. Even if it does get extremely stressful at times, at least I'm able to take a step back and rest if and when I need to, which is really the most important thing for me while I deal with my symptoms. If you listen to all of this, thank you. And if you suffer or deal with any chronic illness, if you can relate in any way, if you're going through any similar experiences and you're comfortable sharing, I'd love to hear from you. I know how isolating it can feel. Just know you're not alone. Aside from mailing out some orders, I also need to go to the grocery store. We are running low on a lot of groceries that I have procrastinated for too long. Especially after my travels, we ate out obviously almost every day. I think we only cooked like maybe 5 meals for ourselves while we were in Thailand and Vietnam. And just transitioning to like 4 months of travel, eating out to a normal life has been such a struggle. You would not believe it. I've actually never struggled this much making food for myself. I've always really loved home cooked meals and cooking for myself, but it's not clocking to me this time. Also, if you by any chance missed it, I posted this video, my first month living in this apartment. If you're curious at all about the apartment that we're living in, feel free to check out that video where I do an apartment tour, both empty and also 2 months into it, so that you can see how we furnished and decorated in the first 2 months. Let me set a little bit more of my makeup so that doesn't really go anywhere. I got this shirt at the thrift store the other day. When I saw it, I was so excited because I've been looking for like specifically this, a sort of like sheer shirt that goes over my pants so that I can do this look. I don't know, so I can achieve like a skirt over pant type of vibe. But today I think I'm gonna just throw on a flannel. I just wanna be very comfy while running errands. Let me show you the fit without the flannel. And the barrel pants are just from Target. I really like them. They're like subtle barrel pants, so they don't look totally obnoxious, like balloon pants, if you will. And then this flannel I thrifted out here as well. I spend a lot of time at the thrift store now, so. I love this purse. It goes with so much. As you can see, I keep all my inventory in the guest room, and I'm just about to pack up 2 more orders. So someone bought this and this. I need to show you my newest perfume combo that I feel like is the dupe for Glossier You. I've seen them both talked about separate, especially this one, Fleur de Blonde from Urban Outfitters. This one is definitely a contender. It has that very clean, ambrette, musky scent, but it's just a bit sweet when it dries down. It doesn't give me that peppery, like freshly printed paper smell. But for that, I just spray on this one over it, which is also from Urban Outfitters. And they are usable alone, obviously. For me, I feel like it's definitely a steal because Zach can also use this one. It's a genderless perfume, but I got this one as well. And I'll say that they both do the same thing in different ways. I'm not versed enough in perfumes to tell you how. This one is called Skin, so it's supposed to give that same vibe of You and Missing Person, I think, by Fleur. You know what I mean? Like those perfumes that market themselves to blend in with your skin. In my opinion, this one is a little bit more masculine, but really good. It gives off a like very musky, cologne-y type of scent. But I don't know how to explain it, you guys. It still does the job. Someone else on YouTube said that they think this is the dupe for Glossier You. Questionable opinion. That alone is not a dupe. This one alone reminds me of Paper by Commodity. These two together, though, this is where it's at. This is like the $36 one, but you can also get their $25 one, and then this one was on sale for $20, so technically you could get them less than $50 for both. So good. Fucking stupid.
You can take that crazy jet from Newark to LA.
Sorry.
You can walk the length of the boulevard.
Decided to come to my favorite thrift store. I don't even have to say much. I'll just show you. Watch and see how good it is.
There's no lie, ain't no lie. You can say the same took that Florida trip. That trip didn't stick. 'Cause when running away is what you're known for, you can't expect the roar at the door. 'Cause there's no lie, ain't no lie, there's no lie that'll save you now, save me now, hear me out. There's always gotta be someone to blame when the power's out. Watch your mouth.
I cannot believe that I almost forgot to share with you what I got at the thrift store. I didn't get any clothes, but this thrift store has particularly good and unique art, and they also have an entire section with fabrics and textiles, and this piece caught my attention as well as two others. I'll reinsert the footage here. I was really drawn to this $6 tavern type one, but ultimately I decided against it because, to be honest, I don't even drink. I liked it because it was giving this like cozy Shrek vibe, but I feel like it was impulsive, so I passed on it. I also really liked this one with a girl sitting in the tulip field and the windmill behind her, but I was just not down to pay an extra $16 because I knew that I wanted to leave with this piece, and this one was $24. Look how beautiful. I'm not sure what this type of art is called. It's labeled as hand stitch folk art. I know that it's like in the category of textile art, but yeah, I just think it's really unique and beautiful. I feel like if you're into art, this is gonna impress you. And that's the artist. And then it has like a little hanging thing. So I did consider putting it over my bed, and honestly, I think it looks kind of good, but I do think I'm gonna put it in the dining room. I feel like it just fits the dining room, and also it's just so beautiful that I want it to be a central point of the apartment. But I will say that seeing this and their entire textile section really inspired me to put a textile fabric art over my bed, because over my bed is empty right now, and I was considering leaving it empty, but I told myself, like, if I can find a piece of unique art that adds texture to the room, then I might consider putting that over the bed. I also have to find a way to add my projector to face this wall too, but that's another project. But let me show you what this looks like up in both of my options, and you let me know what you think and what you prefer. Oh, actually, I do have a third option as well, so I'm going to insert footage of all three of the spots. And it even matches like color wise. It's so pretty that I know it looks good anywhere, but ideally I think I could find something that is a little more fitting for the bedroom. And then let me show you the other two spots. And then this is the second option. We usually always have this door open. So, I mean, she is quite literally obviously on display. We have these lights up here. The Zach pointed one to the art and it does look kind of nice, I'm not gonna lie. And then this is what I had previously. I do like this more. I mean, it's simple. The other one just feels a little too visually heavy, especially because I have like all my bags right here. It just feels like too much clutter. And then here's the third option that I think I'm leaning towards right now. It's just in our dining room nook area. I don't know, I could actually use some advice on this one, so please let me know what you think. Okay, this one I think is Bangkok. That's right. I was right. It's so rewarding when I'm right. It's 11 o'clock. I admittedly wanted to get to bed earlier because tomorrow Zach and I are going to Silver State Park to do the Trail of 10 Falls, which is a very popular waterfall hike here in Oregon. I'm super excited and I'm crossing my fingers that I can do it. It's a 7-mile hike and I'm being gentle with myself. If I don't do the full thing, I won't be upset. Yeah, I'm super excited to show you guys and document it. I recently got a new mattress. I'll insert a picture of the one that I got on Facebook Marketplace from like a secondhand mattress seller who buys in bulk from the manufacturer, returns. If you know, you know. It's like all over Facebook Marketplace in every city, but I had a really shitty mattress up until 2 nights ago. This is my second night sleeping on this mattress and I'm so excited. I'm so happy. I had some of the best sleep that I have had in months last night and I'm very excited to get some good sleep again tonight. It's like a memory foam mattress, but it's firm, so it feels so supportive. I'm like a memory foam girl and it has like cooling technology. I don't know if I really like believe all of that, but it definitely feels cool to the touch. So